Exploring the unknown can lead to amazing finds. This video dives into the exciting world of lesser-known Greek monsters, telling their stories and the creepy coolness they bring. With a keen interest, we'll travel through old myths, introducing you to 4 cool creatures like the two-headed Amphisbaena, to the water wizards, Telchines. Their cool stories, mixed with the actions of gods and people, not only spark interest but take us to a magical place, showing a cool side of Greek mythology. Come along on a journey through time and imagination, discovering the mysteries hidden in old tales. The two-headed snake monster, Amphisbaena. The Amphisbaena is a creepy creature from old Greek tales, tied to the frightful monster Medusa. Legend has it that when the brave hero Perseus defeated Medusa, her blood hit the sands of the Libyan desert and created this weird two-headed snake. But the Amphisbaena isn't just from stories. It supposedly appeared in real life during a battle faced by Cato's army. It was seen among other snakes, eating dead bodies left from the fight. As time went on, how people saw this creature changed. At first, it was a scary two-headed snake, but later, during the Middle Ages, it sometimes had wings like a dragon and chicken feet. This creature was said to see in total darkness and had venom, making it quite the spooky being in old tales. It also had a strange look that changed over time. Some drawings showed it as a dragon with wings, 2 feet, and horns. It had a big head and a smaller one at its tail end. People in the Middle Ages were so surprised by its 2 heads that they drew the Amphisbaena in many different ways. Sometimes it was hard to tell which end was the head and which was the tail because of how they drew it. The Amphisbaena kept sparking curiosity and fear in people, making it a common figure in old drawings and stories. Over time, how it looked in drawings varied a lot, but it always kept its eerie vibe from its old Greek story roots. The sea wizards, Telchines. On the other side, the Telchines are magical beings from ancient Greece, related to the mystery of the deep sea. Coming from the islands of Rhodes, Crete, and Cyprus, it's hard to know who their parents were, with stories saying they came from different godly beings, or even from the blood of Uranus when he was hurt by his son Cronus. Known as powerful sea wizards and metal workers, they made strong tools like Cronos' sickle and Poseidon's trident. Poseidon's trident, a spear with 3 points, let him move mountains into the sea to make new islands. They looked as spooky as their magic, with a mix of sea creature and dog looks, sometimes shown with fins instead of hands, capturing the mystery of the sea. They weren't just godly toolmakers, but also looked after the young god Poseidon, showing their big role in these old tales. However, their dark magic scared Zeus, who sent them away to the dark, scary place of Tartarus, showing their 2 sides as both respected craftsmen and feared magic users. The beginning of the werewolf tale, Lycaon's story. Long ago, in ancient Greek times, there was a king named Lycaon who was well respected in the land of Arcadia. His tale takes us back to an era before a huge flood, similar to the times of other famous kings like Deucalion from Thessaly and Cecrops from Athens. However, a dark twist came into Lycaon's life when he decided to test the god Zeus to see if he truly was divine. To do this, he did something really terrible. He either killed his own son Nyctimus or a captive from Molosia and offered them as a meal to Zeus. This was a very bad thing to do because Zeus valued hospitality and kindness to guests above all. When Zeus realized what Lycaon had done, he was furious. He struck down all of Lycaon's 50 sons with lightning bolts from the sky, and turned Lycaon himself into a wolf. This action by Zeus started the very first stories about werewolves among the Greeks. As time went on, the story of Lycaon continued to be told, reminding people not to mess with the gods or break sacred rules of hospitality. It also laid the foundation for many more werewolf stories that captured the imaginations of people for many generations afterward. A mystical hunt in the stars, Laelaps and Teumessian's tale. Now let's dive into a magical story that takes us up into the heavens with a dog named Laelaps and a fox named Teumessian. Laelaps was no ordinary dog. He was blessed by the gods, especially Zeus, with the ability to catch anything he chased. Initially, Zeus gave Laelaps as a gift to a lady named Europa, but later on, Laelaps ended up with an Athenian princess named Procris. The dog became part of a mysterious hunt that would make it famous forever. On the other side of this tale is Teumessian, a magical fox sent by the god Dionysus to the city of Thebes as a punishment for something bad the city had done. This fox was also special because it had a divine blessing that made it impossible to be caught. So, the scene was set for a very puzzling situation: a dog that could catch anything it chased versus a fox that could never be caught. It was a chase with no end in sight. This situation was so mind-boggling that even Zeus, the king of gods, couldn't find a solution on Earth. So he decided to place them in the sky as star constellations. Laelaps turned into the constellation Canis Major, and Tumesian turned into Canis Minor. Their chase continues forever in the night sky, creating a mystical puzzle that fascinates both people who love old stories and those who study the stars even today. The massive sea monster, Cetus. If you dip your toes into the old Greek tales of the sea, you'll soon meet Cetus, a humongous creature from the deep waters. People often thought of it as a giant whale or a big fish, representing the dangers hiding in the ancient oceans. Over time, through stories and drawings, the look of Cetus changed. Sometimes it was shown as a sea snake or, even scarier, a beast with the head of a wild pig or greyhounds, but a body similar to whales or dolphins. This creature was so big, almost as big as a ship, with skulls that were about 40 feet long and spines as thick as a forearm, making it look like a monster to the people back then. The fear that Cetus brought wasn't just because of how scary it looked, but also because of the role it played as a tool of punishment from the gods. The sea god Poseidon sent this monster to cause trouble for the kingdom of Ethiopia as a harsh punishment for Queen Cassiopeia's self-pride. She had bragged that her daughter Andromeda was more beautiful than the Nereids, who were sea nymphs, and this made Poseidon very angry. He wanted to teach the humans a lesson, so he sent Cetus to destroy their lands. Because of the queen's bragging, a series of bad events happened, ending with Andromeda being tied to a rock to be offered to Cetus to calm down the angry god and the monster. Then comes the hero Perseus into the story. He fought and defeated Cetus, saving Andromeda, showing a story where bravery won against both human pride and angry gods. But the story of Cetus was more than just a hero saving the day. It was also about how unsure life could be when the gods could get angry so easily. A scary thought about how the gods who ruled their world could sometimes be angry and dangerous. This tale also showed the old belief about the fine line between the human world and the gods' world, and the bad things that happened to those who crossed this line by being too proud or defiant. The scary story of Cetus lasted through many, many years, making its mark in the stars as the constellation named Cetus, and staying alive in old stories, always reminding people of the ancient fear and respect towards the unknown waters and the godly beings believed to live there. This tale became a way to remember the old worries and honors towards the mysteries of the sea and the powerful gods who could control their lives. Now we want to hear from you. Which of these unknown creatures caught your interest the most, and why? Your thoughts could help us dig deeper into hidden stories waiting to be told. Smash that like and subscribe for more.